Hello friends, for today's video I wanted to cover everything that I'm hoping to get around to in this third quarter of the year. I'm a little late to this because I wanted to do the wrap up first before segueing into plans, but that does mean we're kind of partway through quarter three. So I'm just going to jump straight into it, and I'm going to structure this the same way I structured my recap video, where I'm going to start with any video game stuff that I'm planning to do, then we'll get into manga and books, and this includes light novels this quarter, then we'll get into shows and films, which also includes anime, and then an other category of things that I'm maybe not necessarily going through a film or going through a story, but I do still want to tap into certain topics that are specific to certain things. Anyway, so jumping into it, we're going to go ahead and start with video games. The main thing is that I will likely continue doing videos that are specific to Expedition 33. There are still things I have in mind or things that I want to discuss. I know that this isn't for everybody. I know the video games portion of this channel isn't for everybody because I know some people are more here for the manga anime, but I do really love the storytelling that we get within video games, and I think that's certainly true of Expedition 33, so I just kind of want to continue talking about it and gushing about it here and there. I don't know exactly how I'm going to structure it. I don't know for sure when things are going to go up, but I just know that I want to kind of keep it around at the very least. I'm going to try to up the amount of videos to as often as possible 3 times a week on this channel, and Expedition 33 might be a thing that's like maybe every couple of weeks. That way it still kind of sticks around and I can talk about it, and I think there's so much to dissect about it, but it's not going to overwhelm and take over the channel by any means. And as far as other video game content, I might pick up the DLC for Lies of P sometime within this next quarter, excuse me. I'm pretty busy within quarter 3, so I don't know if I'm going to have the most amount of time for this, because I'm kind of thinking like, do I want to replay it? Maybe. It's so fun. But then I'm like, well, maybe I can just jump straight into the DLC. So we'll see with this one. If I do talk about it or cover it at all, it's probably going to be something brief, unless it gets the Expedition 33 effect where I say that and then all of a sudden I'm like, I gotta talk about this more. I don't really see that happening because it's DLC, but I might talk about it a little bit in a recap style. And then from there, I did start replaying Nier, because I've played Nier quite a long time ago. I've restarted it, and I'm thinking about playing more of it. I don't know that same thing I was saying about Lies of P, if that'll get necessarily a lot of discussion here on this channel by any means, but that is a little bit of an update as to what I'm planning on getting around to in the video game world. I'm mostly anticipating the new Ghost game. That's my video game. All the space in my brain for video games right now is primarily like, the new Ghost game is going to be coming out. And I think I'm just going to be like preparing for that. I got to try to get around to all the other stuff I want to get around to in this next quarter, so that in the last quarter of the year I can really spend a lot of time with the next Ghost game. Now to manga, books, and light novels. So highest priority in this department would be the Apothecary Diaries light novels. I recently did an announcement video talking about a read-along that myself and my friends and my husband are going to be doing for this. So if you're interested in joining, definitely feel welcome to check out that video, because I go in depth about all the things that are pertaining to that. But I cannot wait to keep going with Apothecary Diaries. If you don't know, the show is only caught up through the first 4 light novels, and there are many more past that point. So we're going to recap, we're going to do the first 4, have a discussion, then we're going to do the next 4, and that's going to be basically like 2 seasons worth of content just within those 4 light novels. And so those are all going to be read within this, not all within this next quarter necessarily, but we are starting the read along within this next quarter. So if you love Apothecary Diaries and you want more like we do, feel free to join us with that, because we're really excited. I'm really excited. So I'm going to be probably doing the occasional vlog as well to help keep myself up to date on the light novels. We have sprints and discussions as noted. So there will be quite a bit of Apothecary Diaries content continuing on. I also plan to continue Magus to the Library, because I thought it was great and I'm excited to read more. Same goes for the free run manga. I will definitely be picking up the next Spy Family. And then also my read through and maybe watch, we'll see, of Golden Kamuy is going to be happening within this quarter and maybe a little bit into quarter 4. So Golden Kamuy is going to be maybe also read a little bit here and there in manga vlogs, or maybe I will, because I'm pretty sure the anime doesn't finish through what the manga has, but the manga is done. So I'm also kind of like, do I want to go through the anime and then finish the story with the manga? I'm not sure. I want to look into that a little bit more. Feel free to let me know your thoughts about this. I know one of you is a big Golden Kamuy fan, so you might be able to elaborate here a little bit as to if that's a bad idea or a good idea. But Golden Kamuy is going to be, I'm going to be getting into it more within this next quarter. As for shows and films, we have quite a few to cover here, so I'm going to go through these a little bit on the quicker side. So Cowboy Bebop. I have noted that I started it, I did a first impressions, and I haven't necessarily gone through and completed it. So I need to do that, and then I need to do a video kind of diving into it in its entirety and letting you all know my thoughts and doing an analysis of it, because I think it deserves that treatment, but I just haven't gotten around to doing that. And part of why is because everybody says that this story is best consumed in its entirety, meaning that you're not going to really get the most out of it until you've seen it all. And so I want to make sure that I don't watch it in little chunks here and there. When I do sit down to watch this, I really want to dedicate all my time and attention into it and ensure that I kind of go through the story and I can see where things are connected. Because I know it feels episodic, but I know that there are things that are connecting it, and it's kind of like thematically connected, I believe. Or maybe I'm totally wrong. That's the impression I have thus far. So I need to get through all of Cowboy Bebop. From there, we also have potentially, I'm finally going to get into Neon Genesis, because that is one of the things that I really wanted to get around to this year. And I didn't know for sure when I was going to get around to it, because I was kind of waiting to see when the Witch Hat Atelier anime was going to be announced, its release date anyway. And we haven't gotten that. At the time of filming this, we haven't gotten that yet. And so I think Witch Hat is going to be watched, unless it gets pushed back. I really hope it doesn't. It'll probably be watched in the last quarter of the year, which means Neon Genesis, it would make sense to watch it in quarter 3. However, I also was planning to check out Jujutsu Kaisen this year, and I haven't yet. I'm more excited for Neon Genesis. I don't know how I'm going to feel about the other. We'll see, but the other one is another that I'm planning to check out. I already mentioned Golden Kamuy in the manga section of this. I probably will be watching some of the anime, because I at least want to check out the anime at the very least. And then a show that is not anime, it's actually, a show with real people. We have The Penguin. This one might be either very end of this quarter, or it might be early quarter 4. So The Penguin is one that I've had my eye on, and my friend, she really loved it. And my husband and I both wanted to check it out, but we just haven't had a chance to, so I'm kind of trying to put it on the map in my mind of like, okay, I think that this quarter I can get around to this, and if I do, I will be doing a discussion with my friend for it, and I am very excited because I have high hopes. I have really high hopes for this one. Getting back to some anime, I was talking to my friend Patrick, and Patrick said that his friend said that he needs to watch Orb Movement of the Earth, and I was like, why is that? And I guess it's kind of a little bit more of an under the radar anime, but I guess it is blowing people's minds, and I'm like, well, say no more. I want to check this out. So I am planning, if I can, to fit in Orb Movement of the Earth. I don't know too much about it, and I kind of want to keep it that way, because that's always so fun. There's so many anime out there that you check out, and there's already so many people that have watched it, and thus, even if you try to avoid seeing anything ahead of time, you already have a general idea. Like Attack on Titan, I didn't know what I was getting into, but I knew it was kind of this global sensation and that people loved it, but then like it was controversial at the end. I knew those vague things. With Orb Movement of the Earth, I basically don't know anything other than apparently it's awesome. So that's exciting. It's awesome, but under the radar. And I like not knowing basically anything at all. It's a rare thing to get to jump into something and not have... I'm just excited. It sounds cool, the tiny bit. When I was like, Orb Movement of the Earth, and I was trying to look up like how many episodes and stuff. Just the imagery, I was like, oh, this seems interesting. So I'm really excited about that. And then as for Studio Ghibli or Ghibli, I always try to not, make anybody feel bad about how they say it. So that's why I'm always saying whichever you prefer. But regardless, our next 2 films, we're almost done with our watch through of all of their works. We have When Marnie Was There and The Tale of Princess Kaguya. So those are the 2 that there will likely be discussions for within this next quarter. We're so close. We have just a few more after that. Now segueing into the other category. I have been watching through Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood with my friend Gavin, and we've been doing in-depth discussions for those. So we're going to be finishing up that. We might do a couple more videos with each other as well once Gavin has seen it all, but I will likely also we'll see. I might be doing some videos if not just like solo and themed around Full Metal, they might incorporate things to do with Full Metal, or like a character deep dive or concept deep dive that's kind of rooted in a character, but maybe isn't just about them. We'll see. But there's some ideas I have floating around in my head, some potential video essays I might want to do for that. I've said in my wrap-up that Arcane and Attack on Titan are always on the table for me to make some similar kinds of content to what I was just describing with Full Metal. I'm probably going to be doing some other additional things with Apothecary Diaries, even though we already have that in the books light novels category. There's probably more to say. I have a video essay I really want to do for Apothecary Diaries. And then in this next chunk of months is when my husband and I have our anniversary for our wedding. We'll have been married for 10 years. And last year, to celebrate our anniversary, myself, him, and our friends did a waifu tier ranking and a husbando tier ranking. And I kind of like the idea of doing that again because I think it's funny, incorporate some characters that we didn't have before, and also certain characters we got to know better, so then maybe our assessments have changed or so. I just think it's fun and goofy, and it makes me excited when my friends join in because then we're all just being goofballs together. And it was a lot of fun last year, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to do it again this year. So we'll maybe have another husbando waifu tier ranking set of videos. But anyway, that's it for some plans for quarter 3 of 2025. Feel free to elaborate on anything I said or give me any recommendations, or if you have advice for how to get into something like the Golden Kamuy. Should I watch the anime? You know, that kind of stuff. Feel free to chime in. Thanks so much as always for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye.